I mean, we really have an organic revolution going on here as well, and that's something we promote. Yeah,
I feel it, which is what has added to my joy of being here.
Yes, yes. We work with a lot of farmers who are, organic or looking into organic practices or transitioning to organic, and so. So my next question is, those who stand to profit most from the sale of pesticides often insist that pesticides are necessary for us to be able to feed the world. Do you think that pesticides have increased crop yields for Indian farmers? And can it be said that higher yields always result in higher levels of nutrition? And I know you have some experience with this.
Well, first of all, the companies that sell the pesticides have never worked to improve the performance of crops. It's only in recent years with genetic engineering that they have got hold of the seed sector. But even now they're not doing breeding. And of course, for me it's fascinating. When I criticize genetically engineered BT crops, which are pesticide crops, they produce their own pesticide.
Right, exactly.
The industry will plant stories, she represents the pesticide industry. And if I'm called on TV, I say, but they are the pesticide industry and I'm not representing them. They try and make it look like the pesticide industry is different from the biotech industry, though the biotech industry are actually the same pesticide industry and agrochemical industry that gave us poisons. They are the same players. In not a single circumstance do pesticides increase yields. What they do is create a chemical treadmill, and you have to use more and more. If you used one spray in 1 year, then you have to use 4 the next year, and you have to use 36 in the 4th year. And that's what's pushing farmers into debt.
Right.
And we've done studies on the BT cotton, which was supposed to control pests. There's been a 30-fold increase in pesticide use after this was introduced. Our research on biodiverse systems has shown that actually biodiverse organic farming produces much more, and just yesterday the United Nations has released a new report saying ecological farms are the solution to food security. They produce more food. The UN rapporteur on food, Oliver Schutter, has released this report for the United Nations.
Wow, that's great.
And this is following up on an earlier report of the United Nations called the International Assessment of Agriculture, Science and Technology for Development. So any serious report, which is not company propaganda,
yes, right,
shows that ecological systems produce more. Not only do they produce more food, but they produce much more nutrition. And we are releasing a report at the end of March called Health Per Acre.
Okay.
Because what we are saying is when you grow food, you're growing food for nourishment, nutrition and health. You're not growing commodities. Industry wants commodities, the same. They want to sell you expensive chemicals and then they want to buy cheap commodities, which become a source of their profits. But in the process, food has been emptied of all nutrition.
Like corn syrup is a good example.
And while food has been emptied of nutrition, it has got added with all kinds of toxins. So we should be doing the opposite, having no poisons in our food, but having lots of nutrition. But to do that, then you need to grow nutrition. And to do that, you need to measure the nutrition. And we are finding that the kind of agriculture we help farmers practice, which is biodiverse ecological, farmers can increase their food production up to 5 times. And the nutrition is so high that India could be providing twice the population of India with all the vital nutrients, whether it's iron or protein or energy or calcium or vitamin A or everything, and a totally balanced diet compared to the nutritionally empty, commodified food, which is not food. As I said in my keynote at the Food Justice Conference that was organized by the Wayne Moss Center, food has become anti-food. And in the process, not only are we harming life on earth, we are harming our own bodies.
Right. Well said. The country of Bhutan has made a commitment to ensure that 100% of their agriculture is organic, a project which we understand you are working with them to achieve. Can you talk about how this will be done and what Western countries should take away from Bhutan as a lesson?
Well, the Prime Minister of Bhutan had invited me 2 years ago to do a keynote on education for happiness, because as you know, they have rejected the gross domestic product as a measure of the welfare of people, and they've replaced it with gross national happiness. And they actually do their planning according to gross national happiness.
Wow.
They do their measurements in terms of people's welfare and happiness, not in terms of how much money is circulating, because you can have higher levels of circulation of money and a decline in the quality of life.
Yes.
If you sell more pesticides, you have higher growth. If you stop selling pesticides, growth comes down, but nutrition and welfare goes up. So growth is a total mismeasure of how well we are doing as human beings. The Prime Minister then invited me to help them go 100% organic, wrote me the most beautiful letter to say, for them, going organic was growing gross national happiness. They recognized that.
That's so great.
So I'd first trained their ministries and trained their scientists. Then I went with my team, with my team of farmers and scientists, to train groups of farmers. When I get back from here, one of the first things I'm doing is Bhutanese farmers are coming to us. I'm taking them to Punjab to see what the Green Revolution path means. Because everyone says, oh, Bhutan must have the Green Revolution.
Oh, yeah.
And they'll come to our farm after they see what Punjab has suffered. And then they learn all the techniques, which we've taught them in their farms. They come here, we go back, and there's a back and forth every year, twice a year, a deep exchange. And I have personally committed myself to the Prime Minister to say for 3 years, I'll give whatever time you need to make sure that Bhutan, as the first government nationally to say we want to be 100% organic, has a robust journey on that path.
Wow, that's fantastic. So you're doing a lot of training. So what were they doing before they switched to, decided to switch to organic?
Well, unfortunately, the pesticide industry has pushed these green revolution practices everywhere to make farmers feel they're backward. And even when there isn't a problem, they start promoting pesticide use. Once there's pesticide use, beneficial species go, you actually start to get pests, so you have to use more pesticide. So Bhutan has a wonderful climate like you have in Eugene, and they are amazing in fruit production. And if you have unstable fruit production, you have huge amounts of pesticide use. So they were spraying. They just spray by habit. It's like an addiction.
So they're getting off that treadmill.
That's what we're helping them to do.
That's wonderful. Thank you for that work. So as a group, the NCAP, the Northwest Center for Alternatives to Pesticides, that we share your goals. What more can NCAP do to promote sustainable agriculture and preserve biodiversity in the Northwest?
I think one wonderful thing would be a partnership between NCAP and Vandana on a pesticide-free farming and fruit system. It'd be lovely to have some of your members, some of your farmers, visit us in India and see how systems of agriculture that are being promoted here are also being promoted in India, and through that solidarity build this movement to higher strength.
Wonderful. Well, I will look forward to talking with you more about that, and thank you so much for your time.
Thanks.
Vandana, thank you.